Hello, my name is Sharon Hughes from BASF, and today I'd like to do a very brief presentation on rodents in the food industry. So briefly, an introduction to the rodent pests, the importance of rodent control in your industry, and BASF's rodent control solutions. So firstly, let's have a brief introduction to the three rodent pest species that will be a problem. First of all, we have the house mouse, and we can see the photograph there with an example of the droppings. Then we have the black rat, about 10 times the size, and again a photograph of the droppings. And then finally the brown rat, which is also known as the Norway rat or the sewer rat, and again the photograph of the droppings. And the droppings is a one way, as well as visual, how we can tell if we've got difference between these three rodents. So what are the public health and economic implications if there is a rodent infestation on your food premises? So what I want to cover first is the hidden. How the hidden costs and how it's difficult to actually find out if you have the infestation. The health risks, the danger that a rodent infestation means, and the wastefulness that goes with having a rodent infestation, no matter how large or small. So the hidden rodent infestation. Rodents are highly adaptable to many different environments. Hot, cold, damp, dry, high, low, sewers, ceilings. They can adapt. Globally, they're found in 90%, 95% of countries. And then they're also very intelligent, and they can communicate. They can communicate danger. Pathways to in food, that's really important for us. And mothers can teach their young where to eat and what to eat, and also what to avoid. So we have this social structure, this adaptable social structure. And then we have the third point here is that they can produce a litter every 3 weeks. So that's a phenomenal rate. Now for that they need ideal conditions, but the food premises which will provide food, warmth, shelter, water, then that provides an ideal area for them to breed. So in 6 months, with this possibility in ideal conditions to produce a litter every 3 weeks, in 6 months, one breeding pair of, for example, mice can be 2,000 mice. Now that could all be hidden. This infestation could be hidden out of sight. You might not even see that it's there. And one of the problems why rodents can enter buildings and set up these infestations is the size of the gap that they need to just access the building. So for a rat, it's ½ an inch. So the size, the diameter of an average adult's thumb. For mice, it's ¼ an inch. So the diameter of an average adult small finger. And that's all you need, the finger and the thumb, those diameters for rats and mice to actually enter a building. So you can see how difficult it is to rodent-proof establishments. But if a rodent infestation does happen, obviously there are really important health issues. So they transmit disease on the urine, the feet, the fur, the saliva, the blood, and then they could be carrying any types of parasites, endo and ectoparasites. And all of these will be transmitting disease. We can see feces, but we can't see the fur, the urine, the saliva. We can't see them, and yet they'll still contain diseases, microbes that can cause disease. We know that rodents spread more than 200 human pathogens and carry 45 diseases. And the most common one that we associate with rodents is salmonella. And they're spreading these diseases, they're contaminating human and companion animals. And it's also, they're contaminating the food, and the food is invariably food that was meant for us and animal consumption. And to give you an idea of the extent that they can contaminate, one mouse in 1 year can produce 18,000 drop-ins. One rat in 1 year, 25,000 drop-ins. So rodents can pose a major risk to food safety and hygiene. The second reason why control is important is the damage that they could do. So rodents' teeth grow continuously, so they're going to gnaw, and the key thing they gnaw through is electric cables and equipment. So they could cause machinery to break down, equipment to break down. That will be costly to repair in production. But the main thing is, when they gnaw through these electric cables, is the fire, and that's a really big risk. And it's reckoned that 30% of a facility's electrical wiring and conduit damage is as a result of rats and mice gnawing and chewing through cables. And in the food industry, we've got excellent rodent management is essential to avoid failed audits, temporary downtime, and negative publicity. Another aspect that was on our list is of why it's important to control rodents is that it's wasteful. So annually, they consume and contaminate 20% of the world's food supply. And given how the human population is expanding globally and how important food is, to be losing 20% to what they consume and contaminate, and they contaminate up to 20 times more than they consume, and then all of that comes to 20% of our food supply. You can see why this wastefulness is really critical, not just on a hygiene level that we've discussed, but on a resource level. So to keep on top of any potential rodent infestation, we're going to need an integrated pest management strategy, IPM. And for that, it's inspection. So your pest controller needs to be inspecting regularly for signs of rodent activity. And then prevention. Now, prevention could be hygiene, tidying up spillage. It could be pest proofing so that they can't access. And then you need to be monitoring as well. And then to accompany all of this, when there is actually an infestation, then we need to have a control measure put in place. So that's the kind of the result of when inspection, prevention and monitoring have all led to the conclusion we have an infestation and we need to get on top of this as quickly as possible. So once your pest controller has identified that you have a rodent problem, no matter how large or small, then here at BASF we have rodenticide baits that are effective at controlling rodent infestations. So we have Cilantro, which is a non-anticoagulant. So the majority of baits on the market, the active in them is an anticoagulant. So we have Cilantro with a different mode of action. And if you go onto the website and look, you can see the benefits that a different mode of action brings. And then we have, equally as effective, we have our anticoagulant rodenticides. So we have Storm and Storm Ultra, which have fluclomifen as their active. And then we have our Cerexa products, which have difenicum as their active. And while this presentation is focused on rodents and rodent infestations, BASF also provides solutions for insect infestations. So we have Fendona, Alpine, Ciclera, Goliath. So next time you see your pest controller, you can ask, are they using the BASF products that you've heard about and learnt about during this presentation? So again, my name is Sharon Hughes from BASF, and thank you for listening.